Is it starting? Good morning. I'm still drinking my coffee. Again, every time. Welcome. Thursday, 60 Minute. I've just been celebrating with my second child turning 4 today, which is super exciting. Not gonna lie, I had a little bit of a meltdown last night and fully burst into tears that my kids have to celebrate their birthdays in quarantine. But trying to make the best of it. Kind of felt nice to let everything out and cry for a little bit. For some reason, it felt like it kind of, I don't know, flushed things out. Also, I don't know if Rachel's here yet, but she also has a birthday today. Sabrina has a birthday today. Happy birthday, everybody. I love you all. Can everybody hear me okay? I'm working on microphone things. I think this should actually help. I had a quarantine birthday too. I know it's crazy, but it's, we made the best of it. We decorated the whole house, making cakes, all the things. How are you feeling? Anybody new today? Oh, I've lost my ball. Okay. We're going to be using a ball today. If you don't have a ball, grab a pillow. You can grab anything else that kind of adds a little bit of this resistance here, like a t-shirt wrapped up. You can grab a toilet paper roll. You could grab a paper towel roll. I don't know, all these things. You can also do without, so don't stress out if you don't have a prop. I'll cue you through some other ways to kind of connect without having this type of ball to squeeze. Yeah, I'm gonna start standing. We're gonna kind of flow through the movements. We did this in the 30-minute yesterday. I just kind of wanted to connect in first before. Neck is a little bit sore. If your neck feels a little bit sore, try not to lift your shoulders up this way or prop your neck out or pull it too far backwards. We want to try to keep it in line here. Also, if it feels like it's aggravating, take a moment just to kind of lay down flat. Give it a little bit of a break. You don't always have to stay lifted. So if you're feeling in any of these positions it's aggravating, roll all the way down, release your neck, come all the way back up and get right back into it. If that helps at all, we can talk about that a little bit later again. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna put this down. Keep your prop kind of handy today, right by the side, so that we can grab onto it. We're gonna start with a really nice wide stance here. So make sure that your legs are wide, they're parallel through here. You're just gonna start to reach your hands all the way up. Let's go into a few arm circles here. You can kind of just feel your body moving. Just kind of find yourself kind of fluid. You don't need to necessarily focus on too much form right now. Good, and then reach your hands forward. Just start to take your arms backwards here. Starting to pull the core in. We're trying not to arch your spine. Keeping your feet in parallel. And then forward. And then back. We're going to start to bend your knees, reaching your hands forward. So you're going to shift your weight backwards, pressing your arms up and lifting here. So you're starting to build some heat in your body. Start to connect in every little piece, connecting into your arms, your abdominals, your legs, your glutes, your core. And back. And lift. And here's a really good moment to kind of connect into your breathing tune. Make sure that you're breathing. You're thinking deep breaths. And let's do one more. And then we're going to hold this position out through here. You're just going to start to take your hands back behind you and then reach them out in front of your body. So you're pulling the core and reaching your arms back and forward. So nice kind of big movements here. Shifting your weight backwards so you can feel your glutes activating, feel your core engaging. Good, and keep going here. Really nice. Just nice fluid movements here. And you're keeping your focus kind of at a forward diagonal, so you're trying not to prop your head up here. Keeping your hands back, start to do tiny pulses up. So arms are pulsing up to the ceiling, abdominals are in, glutes are activated. Keep pulling in the core here. Stretching out of your neck, trying to squeeze between your shoulder blades. And then you're going to hold your hands up through here. Start to bend the elbows and then press it back. Bend and then press it back. So you're intentionally moving your hands in space. Try to feel like you're pressing up against a weight. So we're trying to kind of create our own weights here. and then press it back. So you're thinking lengthening and back. And keep going. Let's do 3 more. 2 more. And then 1 more. Press your arms back. Turn your palms facing down to the floor. You're going to take your arms out into a T. And then you're going to squeeze your pinkies together. So you're going into a T. Squeeze your pinkies together. So pulling the abdominals in. Shifting your weight backwards, because sometimes what ends up wanting to happen is you're shifting your weight forwards, taking a little bit into your quads, into your shins. I want to shift backwards, taking it a little bit more into your glutes, a little bit more abdominals. And let's do 2 more. And try not to pop out the ribs. And then 1 more. Take your hands back. You're going to reach your hands all the way up, straighten your legs. Do a couple arm circles again here. And then arms reach forward. You're going to press your arms back. We're going to start to bend your right knee, reaching your hands forward. Stretch out that hip and then press it all the way up. So you're reaching it out, pressing it up. So you're really trying to connect into that right glute. It's kind of like this whole wrapping hip area. It's opening up your hip, but it's also engaging. Reaching out through the arms and lift. And lift. Really nice. Keep the fluid movement going here. 2 more. Up, and then 1 more. You're going to hold here. Just start to take your arms backwards, reaching your hands forward. So keeping the core in. You're stretching out of that left leg. Nice movement of the arms here. Connecting into the right glute. Let's do 2 more. 1 more, you're going to reach your hands out in front of your shoulders. You're going to bend your right arm and twist over to the right, and then reach your hand forward. So you're doing a little rotation. So now your lower half of your body is stabilized. Your upper half is just doing a slight rotation, so I think belly button up. And really pulling that elbow in. So you're pulling it in, reaching it up. And keep breathing. I'm finding now that I'm not using ear pods, I actually can feel like I can breathe a little bit louder. I was feeling like it was so intense inside the ear pods. 1 more. Good, press it back. You're gonna lift that leg up, open up the chest. Let's go back down again. Pressing it up and down. Let's do 2 more. If you can start to feel your inner thighs working. 1 more. And then down. Let's lift it up. Let's go over to the other side. So you're going to bend your left knee and then press it up. So now you're stretching through that right leg. Press it up. Really nice fluid motions here. Keeping the core in. We're trying to get your blood circulating here too. So through this movement, your blood is starting to kind of warm up your whole body. Starting to heat up. And let's do 1 more. You're going to stay through here. Just start to take your hands behind you, open up the chest, reach it out. So you're shifting your weight backwards, over onto your heel, keeping the core in. Legs should already be feeling it, abdominals should already be feeling it, arms should already be feeling it. Should be feeling a really nice deep breaths. And 1 more. Reach your hands forward. You're going to bend your left elbow, rotate to the left. Extend it out. So you're going to twist and out. Twist. Really nice. You're just thinking to rotate and out. Let's do 3 more. So really pulling your fingertips apart. Last one. And out. Press your arms back, lifting up through the waist. Start to bend your knee. Lifting it up again. And then back. 1 more. Lift, and then back, and then let's lift all the way up. You're going to take your heels inwards, your toes are outwards from here. Find a nice wide stance. You can lift up through the pelvic floor. We're going to reach your hands all the way up to the ceiling. You're just going to start to bend your knees down, press through to your heels as you lift up through the core. So you're bending here and you're thinking lift, lift, lift. Bend it here, and lift. And let's do 3 more. Lift it up. 2 more. And lift. And 1 more. Lift all the way up. And now you're going to take your arms out to the side into a T. You're going to turn your palms up as you lift. So think arms go down. T, drop the shoulders. Press those arms all the way up. drop it down, lift it up. How are we feeling? You feel some glutes, inner thighs, abdominal. 2 more. And lift. Last one. Drop it down and lift. And then we're going to drop it down here and hold. We're going to reach your hands forward. Take your hands back out into a T. Thinking abdominals in. Open it up. Woo. Trying to rotate your knees outwards from your hips, not just the knees opening. It comes from here. You're wrapping it, lifting up. Keep the arms going. And now we're going to start to swim here. So you're going to reach your hands forward. You're going to open your arms, bend the elbows, reach it forward. So you're doing a nice little movement here. Open it up. And let's do one more, and then we're going to do it in a hinge. You're going to pull your hips backwards and then start to swim here. So you're pulling your core in, reaching your arms back. So now you're at a slight diagonal. You should feel kind of your inner thighs relax a little bit here and more of the glutes take over. One more. Good. And then you're going to reach your hands forward. Come back to the center position here. Now we're going to reverse. So you're going to take your hands in, you're going to bend your elbows, take your hands back and forward. Warming up the body, warming up the shoulders here. All the way around. So your arm movements might look a little different than mine depending on how open your shoulders can feel today. So just try to open up, reach the hands out as much as you can. One more. And then we're going to hinge. You're going to take the arms back. So you're keeping your core in here. You're kind of like shifting your hips backwards rather than just hinging forwards. Your weight is still over your heels. And let's do one more. And then take your hands all the way out. Pull it back to center, palms go up. Lift up out of the waist, drop the arms all the way down. You can drop it down to the floor. Palms go up, lift, and down. How are we feeling? I'm sorry. It's a lot of like shoulder, arm sculpting here too without weight. It's amazing what you can feel without even adding any weights. Legs, obviously. Drop it down. Let's do one more here. Lift it up and drop it down. Nice. Let's grab onto your prop. We're going to go on top of your knees. Give the ball a slight squeeze or whatever prop you have here slightly above the ground. You're going to flatten your feet. So I want you to lift up through the core, reach your hands forward. You're going to take your hands backwards here. You're just going to kind of round forward. So you're going to reach your hands towards the floor, rounding through the spine, and then press your arms back. So you're rounding through here, pulling your core in. You're kind of pulling your core in back towards your heels as you round forward. So you're reaching out through your arms, lifting up through here. And let's do two more, pulling in the core and up, and then one more. And up, and then we're going to round forward, pulling the abdominals in. We're going to reach your hands down to the floor, and you're going to shift your body forward so that your arms are directly underneath your shoulders. Rolling your shoulders back, and you're going to walk your hands into the center here. So from here, your shoulders are going to pull back, your hands stay in parallel. You're going to start to bend your elbows, your chest goes down to the floor, and then push it up. So it's going to be a little bit tiny here. You're trying to keep your hips over your knees, and your hands are together, so you're going to try to really open up your shoulders here. You're going to feel kind of a different sculpting of the back, abdominals, kind of the pec area as well. Let's do three more. Lift. Two more. And one more. And lift, and then separate your hands back in line with your shoulders. Start to tuck your toes underneath. We're going to pull the abdominals in, start to hover the knees up and hold. And then drop it down. And we're going to hover up the knees and hold. And then drop it down. You should feel really connected in your core and your arms now. Pull it in, lifting up and hold. Drop it down. Let's do two more here. Lift and drop. Let's do one more. Lift it up, pulling the core in, dropping the knees down. unfold your toes, sit back into a child's pose for a second, really stretching out through your arms. Then you're going to start to tuck your toes underneath. I have a plastic. And then you're going to press yourself all the way out into a plank here. You're going to rotate your toes slightly over to the right, still squeezing the prop. Bend your knees, reaching through your arms. Press your chest nice and open, so your lower half is twisted over to the right. Your upper body is staying parallel to the floor. And if you don't have a prop here, I want you to make sure that your inner thighs are squeezing together so you're really engaging kind of your legs as if they're one piece here. And let's do 2 more. And out. And last one. You're going to go all the way out. You're going to hold your plank. Slowly start to drop your knees. Your left knee goes down, your toe uncurls, and then your right leg goes on top here. So you're in kind of a modified plank over to the side, twisted modified plank. Bend your elbows and press it up. So you're twisted in the lower half again. Lift it up. Let's do 2 more. And lift. 1 more. And lift. Rotate your knees back to center. Sit back into a child's pose, really stretching through the arms. You're ready to do the other side. You're going to start to tuck your toes underneath, stretching through the arms. Open up your chest, pull your shoulders back, and then your toes go slightly over to the left. You're going to bend your knees, pressing through the arms. Open up the chest. Really pushing through your arms to get a nice stretch here. Then your abdominals take over and try to kind of reach out through the top of your head. You're going to try not to arch your spine. Try to keep your body nice and flat. Keep your shoulders nice and wide so you're not sinking down into your shoulder blades. 2 more. And up. 1 more. And you're going to hold your plank. Start to bend your knees. Your right foot goes flat. Your left foot follows on top. You're twisted over to the left. Now you're going to bend your elbows down and push it up. And try not to hyperextend your elbows. Here, you're trying to hold it in with your muscles. 2 more. Try not to lock into your joints. 1 more. Whew, come back to center. Reach your arms all the way out. And then you're going to pull the abdominals in. Start to pull your arms in towards your body. You're going to roll up through the spine. Let your neck be the last piece. Let's do 2 arm circles here. How are we feeling? I feel like the pace is a little quick and flowy today, so I hope everybody's feeling good. 1 more. Okay, let's take your knees wide. Let's take the prop between your ankles. If you don't have a prop, you can squeeze your feet together just to activate those inner thighs. Make sure everything's one big piece. Reach your hands back, abdominals stay in. You're going to round the body forward as you pull your hips back and lifting up through the chest here. So pulling the abdominals, you're really reaching your hands out in front of you. And then lift, and you'll find that the more you reach out of your hands, the more abdominal wants to kind of pull backwards in the opposite direction. Lift it up. And try to tap a little bit deeper, like the pelvic floor. Deep, deep low abdominals. Press it up. Let's do 2 more. And up. 1 more. And up. And now you're going to round forward. Pulling the abdominals in, you're going to walk yourself out into this kind of on all fours. You're going to take your hands facing inwards. You're going to make a triangle shape with your fingertips, and we're going to pull your hands in nice and tight. Shoulders are back, abdominals stay in. Shifting forward an inch, you're going to start to bend your elbows, pushing up with your arms here. So it's a slight bend, pushing up. Your hands are actually inwards here. So you're pulling your abdominals in, shoulders are back. And lift. And let's do 3 more. 2 more. And lift. 1 more. And lift. Beautiful. Reach your hands all the way out. Sit back into a child's pose. Excuse me. Last little piece here. You're going to start to tuck your toes underneath, stretching out through your arms. Oh, wow. Okay, here, hold your plank. Bend the knees out wide, you're gonna press through the arms. Stretching through your legs, zipping up the inner thighs, shoulders are back. Bending it through here so your knees stay nice and wide, your heels are pulled together. So you're externally rotating from the hips. And let's do 3 more. Zipping it up. My knees are nice and wide, pressing through the arms. 1 more. Press it all the way out. You're going to slowly start to drop your knees. You're going to uncurl your toes. You're going to press back into a child's pose. And then you're going to pull the abdominals in, start to lift your feet up. You're lifting up in the chest, stretching out through your upper body, pulling the core and stretching it all the way out. So if the extension does not feel right for you, you can just kind of go into this plank here and hold. If it feels like you can lift up a little bit more, it should be like low abdominals lifting, not just a sink in the shoulders. Roll it back. 3 more. And lift. All the way back. Good. Rolling through the spine, you're lifting up in the shoulders, you're really controlling it through the core. And back. 1 more. Rolling through here. Lifting it up. And back. And then just stretch it through here. And let's lift up. Slowly. I did it. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Legs are around. Let's take the ball between your knees. Give it a little squeeze here. Let's walk your feet into parallel. Reach your hands all the way up. Shoulders are going to be down from here. You're going to start to slowly roll through your spine. 1 vertebrae at a time. You're going to go all the way down. Take your hands up over your head. Let's pull the chin in and slowly start to lift back up. If you're pregnant, I want you to just kind of like scoop about halfway. Lift up through here. Just very tiny. If you're having any issues kind of rolling all the way down, you can use your arms. You can go halfway. You can start to work your way towards kind of this full roll down. And lift. And let's do 1 more. Good. Arms all the way up. Pulling the chin in. Lift it up. You're going to scoop and roll halfway here and hold. Make an oval shape with your hands here. You're going to drop the shoulders. We're just going to start to open your arms out to the side. Pull your arms inwards. So you're opening it up through here. Again. And then here's a really good place to check in with your neck. If you're feeling like your neck is aggravated, try not to think of like you're lifting up through here. Try not to pull your neck too far in. Think of like trying to keep your head in line with your spine. Pull it in. You're still squeezing the inner thighs. If you don't have a prop, make sure your heels are squeezed together so you can at least activate those inner thighs and kind of turn off the quads a little bit. 2 more. And 1 more. And let's come back to center. Reach your hands out. Let's scoop and roll all the way down. Peeling through the spine, reaching your hands up over your head. Pull the chin in, slowly start to lift back up. And now you're going to scoop and roll halfway here and hold. Shoulders are back. You're just going to start to open your right arm out and then pull it in. So you're keeping your arms kind of in that oval shape. And you're feeling like the movement comes from behind your shoulder blades. So you're opening it up, pull it back in. And keep breathing. I feel like I have like frosting stuck in my throat. I've had so much cake. All right, you keep going. I'm going to grab a quick sip of water. Actually, it's coffee, but you know. Okay. I'm not sure coffee was the best thing, but keep going. Hang in there. Man, okay. Let's get back in. And let's go over to the right. Back to center here, and then let's scoop and roll all the way down, rolling through the spine. Take your hands all the way up over your head. Pull the chin in. Let's slowly start to lift all the way back up. And now you're going to scoop and roll halfway again. Make that oval shape from here. We're going to go into figure 8. You're going to twist over to the right. You're going to go twist, twist, twist. Lift it up. Let's twist over to the left. You're going to go twist, twist, twist. So now your lower half stays kind of square and stable. Your upper half is doing a little mini rotation from the belly button up. And you're going to try not to let your arms go past your body. The rotation comes from here, not just from the arms. So you're rotating your arms because your body is rotating the arms. Let's go over to the right, twist, twist, twist. Over to the left. And then we're going to go over to the right. You're going to twist over to the right, and then you're going to roll down on that diagonal, taking your hands up over your head. Let's pull the chin in, slowly start to lift all the way back up. And then you're going to scoop and roll halfway, start to rotate and twist over to the left. You're going to roll down on that diagonal. Hands up over your head. Let's lift all the way back up. Let's scoop and roll halfway, twist over to the right. Roll it down. If you're not doing your full roll downs, just continue doing your figure eight. And if at any point your back starts to hurt, go into a butterfly stretch and wait for us there. Lift all the way up. And then rotate over to the right. Roll it all the way down. And lift up through the center. Last little piece here, go over to the left. Nice rotation. Roll it all the way down. And then let's lift all the way back up. And then you're going to scoop and roll halfway here. Separate your arms. Start to do tiny circles. So you're still pulling the core in. Just tiny circles coming from behind your shoulder blades. Keeping the core in nice and tight. Try to release the hip flexors by thinking of your inner thighs and pelvic floor connecting. 2 more. And then reach your hands forward. Let's roll all the way down, peeling through the spine, taking your hands up over your head. And then pull the chin in. Let's slowly start to go all the way back up. Scoop and roll about halfway down. We're going to do the reverse circle here. Yikes. All right. 2 more. And then come all the way back to center. Shoulders are dropped down. Scoop and roll all the way down. Peeling through the spine. Hands up over your head. And then pull the chin in and slowly start to lift all the way back up. And then you're going to walk your feet in towards your hips here. You're going to lay all the way flat. I'm so thankful I do not have my ear pods on, so this would be like clearing my throat loudly in your ears today. Reaching your hands all the way out, give the ball a squeeze. Put your weight into your heels, slowly start to tuck and lift all the way up. So you're going to peel through the spine, keeping your hips all the way up high, and then scoop and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. So you're going to roll through the spine. So you're going to try to roll through some of that transverse abdominis work we did that kind of wraps into your back, peeling through. Lifting all the way up, open up the chest, and scoop and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. And let's lift all the way up. Hips lift up, open up the chest, and scoop and roll down. The next one we're going to stay all the way up. So you're going to lift all the way up here and hold. You're going to reach your hands up to the ceiling and turn your fingers facing towards your knees. You're going to bend your elbows, so you're kind of going like a goalpost position here, and then press the arms up. So you're bending it down, you're keeping your lower half stable, pressing the arms up. So you're trying to do almost a reverse push-up here, really connecting into your arms, connecting into the core, and up. And let's do 3 more. And up. 2 more. And all the way up. Let's do 1 more. Lift all the way up. You're going to reach your hands all the way up over your head, stretching through your fingertips. Let's slowly roll through the spine, stretching out through your hands, taking your hands down by your hips. Pull the chin in. Let's lift all the way up. So pressing down into your arms, taking your arms all the way up over your head, stretching through the fingers, slowly rolling the spine all the way down. Let's do 1 more here. Slowly tuck and lift all the way up. Open up your chest. Hands go all the way over your head. And scoop and roll all the way down. Reach your hands around. Pull your knees into your chest. Let's rock side to side. We're going to go into rolling like a ball. So start to grab on underneath your knees. You're going to slowly start to rock. Let's lift up here and hold. So So if any of you have been joining me for a while here, I want you to try to do this one. Squeeze your arms into your knees and rock like this. If you're new, hold on underneath here. We're gonna pull the abdominals in, scoop and rock back, lift up and hold. So you're actively pulling your shoulders back, squeezing your arms into your legs. It's gonna be a lot more core control here when you're not holding on underneath your knees. Try to allow your abdominals to pull in, shoulders drop. And let's do 3 more. Oh, I got stuck. Keep going. Lift up. It's a good one too. You don't want to kind of crank your body up to lift. You want to really allow your abdominals to hold here. Separate your arms. Start to pull your arms in. Just start to open. Pull it in so the core stays in. You're opening your arms. Let's do 3 more. Squeeze it in. 2 more. And 1 more. Squeeze. You can grab onto your prop. Open up your knees. Take a butterfly stretch here. You can kind of wiggle your legs out. Okay. And then we're going to take the ball underneath your shoulder blades here. So if you don't have a ball, if you can grab onto a pillow, just to elevate your upper body just up a tiny bit here. I like the ball because your shoulders kind of like wrap around the ball and open up, but if you don't have that, just like prop yourself up very slightly here. You're going to take your feet together, knees slightly apart here. Hands are going to come behind your head, and then just open up your chest over your prop. And stretch out of your abdominals here, and then you're going to start to curl up looking toward your abdominals. So you're going to drop your tailbone down, you're going to curl up kind of as high as you can go, and then open up your chest. So when I say as high as you can go, I don't want the lower half to curve, so I don't want your whole body in a C curve. I want you to try to keep your tailbone long, just the upper body is lifting, and everything from your belly button down is staying stable here. So you're just curling up and hold, and then open up the chest. Tiny little lifts. And you're trying not to lead with your neck also, so your head is pressing into your arms. Your triceps are doing some of the work here also. Try to turn off the neck as much as possible, turn off the traps, turn off this whole shoulder area that we tend to overwork. And let's do 2 more. And then 1 more, we're gonna lift up and we're gonna hold here. So you're gonna walk your feet, make sure your feet aren't too close into your glutes. You're gonna start to hover your right leg up and then drop it down. And you're gonna hover your left leg up and drop it down. Let's go over to the right. Let's go right leg, drop it down, and left leg, drop it down. So try not to wiggle your hips at all, really trying to keep the core intact. Just lifting one leg up from the other. And then you're going to lift your left leg up, right leg, hold, start to extend that leg out straight. You're going to bend the knee in here. So you're keeping your hips even, stretching out through that leg, bending the knee in. So it's a lot of core stability here, stretching it out. Your knee comes on a diagonal, so it's staying externally rotated here. Keep reaching it out. How are we feeling? We're feeling okay? Try to keep your body in a straight line if you can. And let's do 2 more. And then 1 more. And then we're going to twist over to the right. So you're going to stretch that leg out. You're going to twist to the right. Pull the knee back to center. So you're twisting out to the right. Pull the knee back to center. It's a nice little rotation here. So it's belly button up, doing a slight rotation over to the right. And then we're going to stay over to the right as your leg extends. You're going to do a tiny dip of the leg and lift, drop, lift. If you want to add on a little bit more here, you can lower, lift, lower, lift. So your right leg is still externally rotated. Let's do 3 more. Your upper body is twisted to the right. 1 more. Come back to center with a bent knee. Open up your chest, you can open up your legs, give yourself a little break for a second. Pull the abdominals in as you start to curl it up. Pull your knees in through here. Hands are back behind your head, pressing your head into your hands. Start to hover your left leg up and drop it down. Let's take the right leg up and drop it down. And then you're going to start to hover your left leg up and hold here. Start to extend that leg all the way out, drawing the knee in. So you're going all the way out. I'm finding myself a little twisted over to the left today. So watch your hips here. Try to keep them as even as possible. One side's usually going to be a little bit more challenging to keep that even. Keep breathing. Let's do 2 more. And 1 more. And now we're going to rotate to the left. You're going to stretch it out. Pull it back to center. You're twisting to the left as your leg extends. Pull it back to center. And let's do 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And then we're going to twist and we're going to hold over to the left. You're going to start to dip that leg in if you want to add that extra little piece. As you dip it down, you're going to open up your chest, do a little tiny lift. Stretch and lift. So tiny lifts, you're thinking of leading with the inner thighs, rotating through the core. 2 more, you should be feeling it all, kind of this inner thigh here. 1 more. Drop the knees down. Open everything up through here. Stretch it out. You can kind of like roll through the ball. You can play around with where the ball is on your shoulders just to open up your chest. And then we're going to lift up. You're going to lift the prop out from underneath you. You're going to lay all the way flat. And then take the prop underneath your right foot. So your right foot is kind of lifted on like a little bit more unstable area space than the ground. So if you can lift it up on a pillow, that'd be great. Take your arms out into a T. You're going to start to extend your left leg up. You're going to rotate your left hip open, so you're at like a slight rotation here, pulling the core in. You're going to start to do some circles. You're going to open that leg out to the side and lift it up. So now your back stays nice and flat towards the ground. You're trying to remain in neutral here, so if your lower back starts to hurt, you can tuck the pelvis slightly. What I want you to do is try to get into that neutral position where it's not really an arch, it's not really a tuck. Good, let's do 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. And then let's reverse and try to relax the shoulders here. Turn the neck off. Really allow the abdominals and the legs to connect. It's really good to add a little bit of circulation in your leg too. With your leg up in the air. Let's do 1 more. And then you're going to turn that leg in parallel. You're going to drop that leg down to the floor. As you take your leg up to the ceiling, I want you to flex the foot. Pointing the leg down to the floor. Flexing the foot to lift. Point it down so you're really stretching through the core. Flex and lift. Point it down. Flex and lift. 1 more. Flex and lift. Beautiful. And then drop that foot down to the floor. Keeping your arms out to the side and keeping that right foot propped up on the ball, you're going to slowly start to tuck and lift your hips all the way up. So your hips go all the way up high. You're going to scoop and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. Tap the hips down. Let's lift up again. Lift all the way up. You're putting your weight into your left heel. Scoop and roll all the way down, really stretching through the arms, dropping the tailbone. Let's do 1 more. We're going to lift up here and hold. We're going to do tiny pulses up to the ceiling, tiny dips of the hips. You're trying to add a little bit of weight onto the ball, onto your right leg, but it's mostly onto your left heel. Think glutes, think abdominals. Let's do 2 more. 1 more. And then scoop and roll down 1 vertebrae at a time. And then you're going to take the ball over to the other side. Lay all the way flat. We're going to go on to the other side. So find your position here. Your feet are actually in line with your hips. So if I didn't mention it before, make sure that your knees are slightly apart. Arms are out to the side. Extend that right leg all the way up. Externally rotate slightly, so you're going parallel to a slight external rotation. And then you're going to start to circle out to the side, down to the floor, and lift. So your leg is only going to go within your range of motion. If you feel like you get to a certain point where your back wants to arch because your leg has gone down too far, keep it really tiny. Also, if you're finding when your leg goes out to the right, like your whole body wants to go out to the right, don't take it so far out. So you're going to find a position and a circle here where you can keep your body stabilized, your abdominals in. 2 more. then let's reverse. You're gonna drop it down, circle it around, up to the center. Nice circle here. And let's do 3 more. And then last one. Take your leg up to the center. You're going to turn it into parallel. Point the toes. It drops down to the floor. Flex the foot. You're going to lift it up through here. If you can, as the foot is flexed, you're almost trying to lead with the heel, trying to get a stretch in the back of your hamstring, trying to press your glute down, press your abdominals down so you kind of stretch out through there. And lift. 2 more. And if you're feeling your hip flexor right here, it's okay. We're going to stretch it out when we go into a bridge. Start to bend that knee, drop it down to the floor. Make sure that your feet are even with your hips, arms are out. You're going to slowly start to tuck and lift all the way up, put your weight into your right hip, right heel. And then scoop and roll all the way down, rolling through the spine. A little wonky on that side. Let's lift up again. Weight into your right heel, and scoop and roll all the way down. And let's do 2 more. Lift all the way up, and then scoop and roll down. If you can kind of feel like a little massage on your shoulders here. Let's do 1 more. Good. Let's stay all the way up through here. Tiny dips down and lift. So the weight is into your left heel. Try to stabilize that left side, right heel, not your left heel. Weight is in your right heel, the leg that's down on the floor. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Let's lift all the way up. Scoop and roll all the way down, rolling through the spine. You can grab onto your prop, take it off to the side, pull your knees into your chest, you can rock your hips side to side. Let's take the ball between your knees again. We're going to start to do a couple rolling like a ball just to get us back up again. Hold the abdominals in. So we want to kind of keep this movement going. So rather than just getting up and switching, we kind of want to fluidly move, stretching out your back again here and lift. 1 more. And lift all the way up. Awesome. Okay. All right. We're going to flip around. We're going to do a little bit of side series here. 2 options. You can either have your hip lifted for a little bit more of a challenge. If you feel like your shoulder is bugging you, drop down to your hip. We're going to go into your right elbow. Your right knee goes down. From my shoulder to my knee is trying to stay lifted. If you're not, you're going to drop down here. Okay? So you're going to squeeze your knees together. The ball just acts as a little bit of a guide here to kind of relax your shoulders, lift up through here, and to even out onto both arms a little bit. Start to open up this top knee, and then drop it down. So you're squeezing your heels together, just opening up that left knee. A lot of buttercream frosting. Open up that top knee, and drop it down. So pulling in the core. So if you notice here too that you're putting so much weight into your right shoulder, you can kind of like press down onto the ball slightly and then take your weight into your left tricep. And you'll see how it'll even out a little bit, alleviating some of the pressure onto your right shoulder. Let's do 2 more. And then 1 more, holding that knee all the way up. You're going to dip your hips down and then lift it up. So tiny dips here, but you're keeping your left knee nice and open. So you're kind of pulling in the core, down, and lift. And let's do 2 more. Lift. 1 more. Lifting up and hold. You're going to extend that top leg out. I want you to internally rotate as you squeeze the knee, and then lengthen it out. So you're dipping it down, tapping the knees, stretch it out. So internally rotating and stretch. If at any point your neck starts to hurt, you can look down to the ground, lengthen out through there, dip, and reach. So internally, internal, extend, internal, extend. And let's do 2 more. Extend, 1 more. Extend, you're going to tap the toe down and lift, keeping the core in here, and lift. Ooh, stay lifted, keep the abdominals in. And let's do 3 more here. 2 more. And 1 more. And lift. And you're going to bend your knees in, drop your hips down for a second. We're going to twist down to the floor. So you're going to go here. So we can keep your hips down. You can do the moves here. You can also lift your hips up. And you can go on this like twist. So you're like rotating down here. Shoulders are back. And then you're going to extend your leg out. So now your upper body is rotated down to the floor. You're going to start to do tiny, tiny circles. If you can notice, my hips are actually lifted here, but you can also go here. Because sometimes it's like day to day, you'll feel that you'll connect a little bit more even if your hip is down and it's like you're focusing too much on your shoulder with the lift. Find like where you want to be today. This arm is kind of inwards here, propping yourself up. I'm going to stay down on my hip today. Let's do 2 more. And then reverse, other way. So if you're down on your hip, make sure that you're still lifting up through the abdominals here. If you sink down, you'll get a bigger leg, but we really want to equalize that out from the abs and the glutes. So you want to stay really nice and lifted. And let's do 2 more. 1 more. You're going to hold that leg up, take that leg slightly behind you. I want you to roll through this arm. You're going to stretch it out through that side, stretch out through your leg, and then pull it in and up here. So you're rolling it out, stretching through your upper body, lifting it back up. So if you don't have a ball, you can kind of just like slide your arm down and lift it up. But this leg, remember, it's holding and lifting up behind you, rolling it out. And lift. 1 more. Rolling it out. And lift. You can bend your knees in. Let's flip over into a child's pose. Take your ball into your right hand, so the arm that was like doing the supporting work. Stretch that arm all the way out. You're going to take your left hand underneath and then stretch it out through here. You can also drop it down, not even use a ball at all if you feel like you get a little bit more of a stretch that way. Twist through here. All right, and let's lift up. I'm going to switch over to the other side. We're going to go into your left elbow. The ball goes now into your right hand. We're going to hold yourself into the side plank. So try to mimic what you did on the other side. So if your hip was dropped in the beginning, drop it down from the beginning here. If not, keep the hip lifted. Try it out. If your shoulder aggravates, you can always drop it down. Okay, finding this position here. Starting to open that top knee and drop it down. So you're lifting up through here. Drop it down. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're in line with your hips. Check in with your abdominals. Make sure you're lifted up through here. Drop it down. Really nice. 2 more. And then 1 more. And now you're going to lift your knee open here. We're going to start to lift your hips up. So you're leading with the hips. Drop it down. So try to feel inside of your body and feel like what is working first. I want you to try to tell yourself your abdominals are working first. Your abdominals are leading your hips up. They're pulling in, lifting up through here, not just your arm. Lift it up. Drop it down. Let's do 1 more, keeping that knee nice and open. Drop it down. You're going to hold. You're going to start to extend that right leg out. You're going to internally rotate, tap your knees, stretch it out. Tap your knee, stretch it out. So internally rotating, you're going to dip, stretch it out. So you're elongating out, you're pulling your right shoulder away from your ear. Tip it down. And dip. And extend. Let's do 3 more. Reach it out. 2 more. And out. Let's do 1 more. All the way out, you're going to tap the toe down and lift. So keeping the core in here. Lift. So good. Lift it up. Pull the core in. Try to keep lifting up off that left shoulder. Try not to lift the leg too high so that your body shifts. 2 more here. 1 more. And then drop it down. Amazing. I'm going to stay on my hips. I'm going to rotate down to the floor. Stay lifted up out of the core here. You're going to extend your leg out. So you're kind of like lengthening out through the sides. Your upper body is twisted, but your lower half is still staying nice and straight. And then we're going to do tiny circles here. pulling in the core, pull your shoulders back away from your ears. Really nice. Keeping the abdominals in. Nice twist through here. And then reverse. Try to relax that bottom leg. I noticed I was gripping in my toes. Try to really relax that bottom leg if you can. 2 more. And then you're going to hold that leg there. Take this ball slightly over to the side. You're going to roll it out. So you're going to stretch out through that side. Use your abdominals to draw it back in. Stretching it out. And lifting it up. So if it doesn't feel right to go all the way down, you can just go to here, just stretch it out. Lift it up. Your leg is still hovered up, slightly rotated behind you. Lift. 1 more. And lift. And you can drop the leg down, stretch it out. And let's lift up, go onto your knees, take the ball underneath your left hand. We're going to go into a child's pose here, stretch through that left arm. Take your right hand underneath, get a nice twist over to the left. And then let's lift up and see how much time we have to do all this. Okay, let's do some leg inversions. So let's have you lay all the way down. You're going to take your hips up on top of the ball. Hips are going to lift. The ball goes directly underneath your tailbone. So check in here to make sure that it's not in your lower back. Like I really want it down low where your tailbone can press directly in the center of the ball or the pillow. Reach your hands around, just grab onto here. You can take your hands down by your side. Take both legs up to the ceiling. Give them a little wiggle here. You're going to extend your legs up. So you're going to take your toes apart and heels together. Shoulders are dropped down. We're going to go into some circles. You're going to open up your legs. You're going to take it down to the floor and lift back up. Down to the floor meaning like not actually down to the floor. So within your range of motion that you can keep a neutral pelvis here. So you still want to keep your abdominals engaged. You want to try not to tuck the pelvis or to arch the spine. 2 more. And 1 more. And then let's reverse. We're going to go the opposite way. So keeping the core in here. How are you doing? This should feel nice to kind of release some of that blood flow in your legs for a second. 1 more. And then you're going to take your legs up to the ceiling. I want you to flex your feet. You're going to bend your knees as if your heels are pulling directly in toward your body, and then you're going to press your legs up. So you're bending it in. You're trying to press up to the ceiling as you ground your tailbone down, so your legs are going in 2 different directions. Your feet are going up to the ceiling, but your tailbone is going down, and your hips are going down to the floor. Press it up. Let's do 1 more. And then you're going to bend the knees in. Now you're going to go out in a diagonal. So you're going to press it out in a diagonal. Bend it in. So shoulders are back. Stretching it out in a diagonal. Bending it in. Press through the heels. Bend it in. 2 more. Last one. Take your legs up to the ceiling. Point the toes. You're going to open your legs out to the side. Start to flex your feet, lifting your heels, squeezing them up to the ceiling. Point your toes, open it out to the side. How are we doing? This is always such a great way to end. I feel like it's so nice and peaceful, but still working your inner thighs, abdominals. Flex and squeeze. 2 more. Flex and squeeze. Let's do 1 more here. Flex and squeeze, and let's reverse. You're going to flex the feet out to the side, point the toes, lifting. So you're opening it up. Squeeze, good. And lift. Let's do 1 more. And then drop your right leg down to the floor, take your left knee into your chest. Make this an active stretch, so you're really like elongating out through that hip, stretching out through your toe. Take a nice stretch through here. And then let's go to the other side. Stretch it out. And then drop your feet down to the floor. You're going to slowly roll the spine, or lift the spine up, and then you're going to roll it down slowly, one vertebrae at a time. Let's flip over. If you have a ball, I would love to do some of this gut work here. You can also do this with a pillow. If you're pregnant, I don't recommend this, but you'll know it won't feel right anyway. Take the ball into your pelvis here. Lay all the way down on top of the ball. Your weight is going on your hands here. You're just going to open up your knees and relax. I realize you might not be able to see this, but the ball is right in my pelvis here. You're just doing full dead weight on top of here. You're going to start to circle your hips around. Start to do very tiny circles. Circle in the opposite direction. And then you're going to start to prop yourself up onto your forearms, tuck your toes underneath, and you're going to hover your knees up. You're going to start to slide yourself forward and back, so the ball's going to go all the way up to your stomach. It's going to kind of roll through your abdominal wall and go down onto your pelvis. You're going to have to listen to my cues here, because there's a big box there. Oh, there, yeah. Okay. Lift it up. If you don't have a ball, you can sit into a child's pose. You can just do some other stretches that feel really good for you. And then one more. Good, and then let's lay off on top of the ball. You're going to flip over onto your back. Let's take your right knee into your chest. Cross your right foot past your left shoulder, and then pull everything directly in towards your body. You're going to drop this right hip down. You're going to cross your left hand past your right knee. Get a nice twist over to the right. You're going to twist and look over to your right shoulder. And let's go over to the other side. Take your left knee in. Cross your left foot over to your right side. Pull it in as you press your left hip down. Get a nice stretch here. And then cross your right hand over your left knee. Twist over to the left. And then let's roll all the way over. You're going to take your feet underneath your shoulders. Grab onto your elbows, let your head hang all the way heavy. Keep your knees slightly bent through here. You can nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Start to release your hands down to the floor, and you're going to slowly start to pull the abdominals in and roll up one vertebrae at a time. Let your head be the last piece here. Lift it up, you can roll your shoulders back. And we're all done. Thank you, everybody. Quickly, so tomorrow there's no live stream. Is it stuck, everybody here? Tomorrow there's no live stream, but on Saturday I'm going to be doing our 10 a.m. I'm going to be posting a donation page for a really great organization called Fuel the Fight, and they're basically feeding all of our healthcare workers and everybody that's helping us out. And they're providing food from restaurants in New York. So we're trying to help out all of our, New York mom and pop shops, all of the restaurants, everything, getting food to everybody, making sure everybody is taken care of. I'll post some more details tomorrow. I feel great. Thank you all so much. I love you so much. Thank you for being here. I will post more information tomorrow. This is live for 24 hours. So tomorrow, maybe you can do another one in the morning or something. I don't know. Love you. Bye.